Good morning and welcome to Healthy at Home. Today we are continuing on the foot and ankle, and I'm going to speak some more today about balance and ankle stability. So I am going to share the screen. And here we are. Let me make sure that we go from the beginning of the PowerPoint. Here we are. Healthy at Home, foot and ankle. My name is Dr. Melanie Carminati, and today is the second portion of the foot and ankle details. And as a quick disclaimer, this is an educational video chat. It is not physical therapy. If you are in need of skilled one-on-one care, you can give us a call or shoot us an email at the contact info right there. We spoke about the bony anatomy. I'm not going to get into this quite as much today. That is in the other recording, but you can just appreciate here the structure of the foot, and you see specifically how this talus bone is the one of the more protuberant bones coming up towards us, and then also the calcaneus, that's your heel bone. We also looked at the ligamentous structure of the ankle bone, both on the inside and the outside. And you can also just appreciate the curvature of the phalanges themselves, the toes, and you can just see how they kind of arc, and you have a little bit of a dome kind of structure in your foot. Another view, this is a view of the lateral ankle. Lateral ankle sprains are most common. We spoke about that. And they are just pointing out some specific ligaments that tend to be sprained when we have an ankle sprain. The bottom of the foot, plantar fascia. Fascia is a connective tissue that runs throughout our entire body. It runs from head to toe, helps to compartmentalize muscle groups, different neurovascular bundles, and it has a receptive kind of quality to it, and it responds to trauma and different forces. So again, you can see the plantar fascia here. You can see some differences in ankle anatomy and ankle structure based on if the calcaneus is slightly tilted one way or the other. And then on this top image over here, you can see the plantar fascia running from the medial tuberosity of the calcaneus, spreading the width of the foot. So today we're speaking more about ankle stability and balance. So I thought we would first chat about what systems coordinate our balance. So there are three main systems that coordinate our balance: the visual system, the vestibular system, and the somatic system. I'm not going to go into as much detail today about the visual system and the vestibular system. I will go into more detail in the upcoming weeks of Healthy at Home. I will have a fall prevention lecture that I will be putting up for people to sign up for. Today, we're mainly going to focus on the somatic system because that more directly correlates to the foot and ankle. But these three systems need to be working together to help keep us balanced. It's not just one, it's not the other. They all are working. And we all tend to rely a lot on our visual system, but the somatic system is something involving our musculoskeletal system that can be trained to help improve our balance, aka foot and ankle stability exercises. So the somatic nervous system is part of our peripheral nervous system. There are nerve receptors that are found in our skin that receive sensory information from the outside environment, such as, ooh, that's hot, oh, that's cold, this is sharp, oh, this cliff is unsteady. And we'll send the information back up to our central nervous system, which is our brain and our brainstem. This proprioceptive information will be picked up from the proprioceptive organs, which are located in joints and ligaments. These Golgi tendon organs are the proprioceptive sensory organs that sense the change in the muscle tendon itself. So it's right in that tendon itself. And that is the structure that is telling when you're walking, if you're walking outside, if you're hiking, if it's unstable, or if it's level ground, if you're walking through mud. all of that information is being transmitted from these Golgi tendon organs that are in the ligaments and the joints themselves, and going back up to our brain saying, hey brain, this is unstable, send some information back down to the ankle muscles and the foot muscles so that they can contract more, and your core and your hips, everything that needs to help keep you steady. So that is our somatic system. Proprioception versus kinesthesia. We said proprioceptive organs. So what is the difference? We've heard these words before. Proprioception, sensors that are proprioceptive sensors provide information about joint angle, muscle length, muscle tension, and they help to assist with maintaining balance. So it's more specific about maintaining the balance, versus kinesthesia is the awareness of your body in space and during movement. So the real focus on kinesthesia is on the movement quality. So for example, dancers are most commonly kinesthetic learners because they learn through the movement itself. This little image down here is just an image of that whole breakdown of the central nervous system and the influence of the Golgi tendon organs in the ligaments and the joint of the foot and ankle, going back to the central nervous system, that is your brain, and then the whole loop of the brain then sending information back down to the ankle muscles. You can see this green is the message coming back to the muscles, and then the muscles themselves contracting to help stabilize. So we've already spoken in the past about common injuries. That's the list of them again. Treatment, physical therapy treatment consists of therapeutic exercise, neuromuscular reeducation, which is what we're going to get into today some more, and manual therapy. So I'm just going to stop the screen share. We're going to go over some simple ankle strengthening exercises and then some safe ankle stability exercises. Remember, these are general recommendations. So if you are at fall risk, I recommend that you see a physical therapist or occupational therapist so they can safely guard you when you're doing your home exercises or trying to do any balance training. Okay, so let me just angle this back down because I'm going to actually come onto my mat. So one of the first exercises that I like to do just to, we got a phone call. So one of the first exercises that I like to do is with a towel. So if you have a towel, what you'll do, you can do this actually sitting in a chair. I'm just going to demonstrate it sitting on the mat here. We're going to do what's known as towel scrunches. So what towel scrunches do is they strengthen the muscles on the inner part of your foot. So we need that foot strength to help you with stabilizing. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're sitting up nice and erect. If you need something that's supporting you, you can do that, but you're literally going to use your toes as if it was your hand. So you're going to scrunch and release, scrunch and release, scrunch and release, and scrunch and release. And you just keep doing that. And if you feel a fatigue or a cramp, take a break. Most of us don't work these deep intrinsic muscles of our feet, but these deep intrinsic muscles of our feet are very important when you're trying to stabilize at the ankle. Okay, so you do that. Typically what I say for my patients is you want to put a timer on for like a minute, 2 minutes, build up to be able to do this scrunch and release for about 3 minutes. 3 minutes is a good goal. Now, where you want to feel this, you want to feel this in the bottom part of your foot. You don't want to be feeling it in the upper shin. The intrinsic muscles of our feet, if you remember from that anatomy shot that you saw where the fascia was, the plantar fascia was covering the bottom of the foot. Underneath that fascia is all those muscles. So you want to feel that in that arch part of your foot. And you're just scrunching and releasing. Okay, and so we've done about a minute or 2 minutes on that left side. Then you want to make sure you do both feet because we stand on both feet, right? So you're going to scrunch and release the other foot. Now for me, I can already see my right foot is more dominant, and you may feel that too. One side is more dominant than the other. So you're just scrunching and releasing. And again, start with 1 minute. If you can build yourself up to do 2 minutes, that would be great. If you can eventually get to 3 minutes, even better. Good. And you're just scrunching and releasing. Again, if you have a cramp, take a break. And scrunching and releasing. And then you relax. Okay, so now we have those intrinsic muscles of our feet nice and warm. There is an ankle TheraBand 4-way exercise that is also great. I'm not going to go over that today, but that is great to help strengthen specific muscles of the ankle. What I'm going to transition into is just some simple balancing exercises. So if you have a chair, you can do this standing, or you can stand near a wall. So I'm going to bring my chair back here. You always want to have something sturdy that won't move to hold on to when you're doing balancing exercises. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to just stand with your feet parallel. Now remember, we spoke about the somatic system and our balance, and how the somatic system needs to have that sensory input to trigger the ankle stabilizing muscles to help. So you are going to just start with a weight shift. So you're going to literally shift your weight forward onto your toes and then back onto your heels. Again, forward onto your toes, back onto your heels. Again, forward onto your toes, back onto your heels. Again, forward and back. Okay, so you do that about 10 times. And then the next direction you want to try is side to side. So you shift your weight more towards the right foot, then towards the left foot. Again, right foot and left foot. And right foot and left and right last time to the left, and then come back to center. Okay, now, so we're going to put those front, back, side to side directions together. And I want you to imagine that you have a pencil sticking out from the top of your head, and that pencil is touching the ceiling, and you're going to try to draw a circle with that pencil on the ceiling. So what that's going to require is you keep your spine nice and straight, and you're going to go through front rocking to side rocking to back rocking, left side rocking, and front again. Do that 4 times, going clockwise, starting going around to the right, and then 4 times going counterclockwise. And so you're keeping the spine nice and straight. And then you go 4 times the other way. So it requires you to keep your rib cage over your pelvis, keep that neutral spine. And just notice what's happening in the foot and ankle. Notice the muscles and tendons responding. Okay, and then come back to neutral. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring our feet together to touch. So the feet are literally, if I turn myself here, you might be able to see some more. The feet are literally going to touch one another when you're standing on the ground. And you're going to try to take one hand to your side and then the other hand to your side and stand nice and straight. And just notice if there's any wobbling, any shaking in the foot and ankle. So this is a more narrow base of support, so it will require a different amount of force to keep the ankle stable. Okay, and then we're going to go back to hips distance apart. You're going to shift or bring your hands back onto the surface that you're holding onto. Shift your weight over onto your right leg and just hover the left leg up off the ground like you're marching, and then put that foot back down and switch to the other side. Lift the right leg up like you're marching, and then shift to the other side. So the wonderful thing about this is it's nice, slow, and controlled. This may remind you of Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a wonderful method that helps with balance. And so then what I would progress into is having a patient hold the foot up in the air for a specific amount of time. Okay, and last time lifting the left leg up. And then you're gonna stand in what is known as tandem stance. I call it tightrope walking stance. You're gonna put one foot directly in front of the other. You're still gonna hold on to something, and you're just gonna stand nice and tall. Feel that spine. Notice what's happening in the ankles. Again, this is a more narrow base of support, so it's more challenging for the foot and ankles. Okay, and then put the other foot in front. Notice what happens when you change your feet. Breathing into it, keeping the spine straight, and then relax. Okay, so those are some simple exercises that I recommend for foot and ankle stability. There is a whole progression beyond what we just did today, but these ones are safest for if you're at home and you could be able to do on your own. However, there is a whole progression. I'm not going to go into detail about that, but it builds up the ankle stability and strength some more. So I'm going to just share the screen again. Okay. And so we did the demo of exercises. So Healthy at Home is evolving into a bi-monthly lecture on the first and third Friday of each month at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there will be a sign up required, and we will need a minimum of 6 participants for the lecture to occur. There is no limit on how many people can attend, but we will need a minimum of 6. This is for the Inspira community, patients, clients, families, and friends within the community. I want to keep this for us and make it intimate and be able to see each other's faces, and also allow for questions and answers to take place. This is different than our live stream series, which is more just for a large outreach. This is special just for my people. So we are continuing the virtual Pilates classes. Tuesdays at 11 a.m. is with me, beginner. That class is actually full now. The Wednesday 6 p.m. class is intermediate with Dr. Burkle. That class has some spots left and is more challenging. We are continuing also with the virtual physical therapy initial evaluations, follow-ups, and Pilates one-on-ones. So here is the tentative schedule, pending if everyone signs up. Next Friday will be pain science. What is pain? How is it created? The biopsychosocial method, or should I say model? That should say model. June 19th will be fall prevention, which will be a much more elaborate explanation of balance, fall prevention, and all different things. July 3rd will be osteoporosis. July 17th will be pelvic floor dysfunction. And then the other topics for August and September will be announced in accordance or as we get closer to the dates. So that's June 5th, pain science, June 19th, fall prevention, July 3rd, osteoporosis, July 17th, pelvic floor dysfunction. The Be Well Live series is happening this upcoming week. We have Dr. Shrikande and Catherine Fugelsang. Dr. Shrikande is a pelvic rehabilitation physician in Manhattan, and we will be speaking about pelvic pain. Catherine Fugelsang is an acupuncturist at Element Healing here in Brooklyn, and we'll be speaking about mindfulness during quarantine, and she's going to give us some at-home tips for managing anxiety and things of that nature. Then you can see the other 3 guests for the rest of the week. We also have an add-on guest on June 19th, which I announced on Monday. But I want to just highlight this upcoming week's guest. So Tuesday, June 2nd, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you follow Inspira on Instagram, we will be live on there. And then Wednesday, June 3rd, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will also be on Instagram. These are this upcoming week's guests. Contact information is here. If you want to follow us on Instagram, that is the Instagram name, Inspira Physical Therapy. Facebook and YouTube, we're putting all of the lives on our YouTube channel. Here's our website and email and phone number. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next week. We got to get 6 people to sign up so I can speak about pain science. And yeah, any questions?
The squeeze and release with the towel, you didn't put the foot back to neutral, you actively flexed your toes, or that doesn't matter?
Oh, I like relaxed. I like relaxed and release. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like if you think of hand squeezes with the ball,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like the same thing with the foot.
Mm-hmm. And I was actually doing both at once. Is it better to do them individually, or doesn't matter?
I like to do it individually because you can focus on one foot and you can just notice the differences.
Okay.
Sometimes it's more challenging to notice, oh, this is happening here. But if you have that awareness, you can definitely do both at the same time.
No, it makes more sense to do individually. I just kind of flexibly both, and then I noticed. All right.
Okay. All right. So I'll see you later next week. But if you are able to tune for the, I'm gonna send a link.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will email out a link so everybody knows.
All right, and get in touch with your HR person at the food co-op.
Yes, I'm going to.
Ask her to put up, some little cute sign. So, you never know what people are looking at. I mean, not everybody is as technologically phobic as I am, but you never know what will catch people's eye. So it doesn't put them in different modes.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm
just going to pause the recording now.
Oh,